Oh, it's unbelievable what could happen. We won't know until tomorrow because of the Sunday Southern Conference matchup tomorrow in Greensboro at UNCG. But I got to tell you, this game, there are going to be more threes taken in this game. Both teams average 31 threes per game.
Slauson and Clark in the center circle. We are ready to go. The battle for South Carolina supremacy. I guess the winner gets Wofford if you want to be technical about it. Here today at McAllister Fieldhouse, the Citadel Bulldogs and Furman Paladins for the 217th time. These teams familiar with one another, and you'll see that play out here on our Ingalls Southern Conference Game of the Week. Glad you're with us. It's hard to believe this season winding down to its conclusion with the SoCon tournament in Nashville next week. Slauson with only 4 on the shot clock heaves one of those three-point shots. An offensive rebound lost on the baseline. They'll say Citadel had possession first, and the Bulldogs will get their first look.
Citadel starting their seniors, Higgins 15 and Guyton 4, two guys that don't normally start. But you'll see Coach Balcom starting those seniors, Moff, another senior, and then, of course, Hayden Brown, a senior.
Jerry Higgins III got quite the ovation from his teammates as he made his way through the line during senior day. Furman with an opportunity to run, but the kick-out three. You'll hear that a time or two today, and Alex Hunter with the first triple of many that we expect to see here in Charleston.
Has made over 300 triples in his Furman career and shooting a great percentage. Feet set, Hunter knocks it down.
Hunter also one of the top distributors in the league. We'll watch how he tries to manipulate this Furman offense. Two of the top scoring offenses in the conference battling here this afternoon. Under 10 to shoot for the Bulldogs. Moff inside the paint and turns around, hits the jump shot. Tyler Moff as good from 2 as he is from 3.
Had his career high at Mercer Wednesday night when he had 24.
Heating up at just the right time. He's averaging a little better than 20 points per game over the last 4 played for these Bulldogs, who are trying to get hot late and be one of those teams that comes out of the bottom of the standings potentially to make a run in Asheville next week. Nice inside dump in and out of the hands of Conley Garrison. The turnover will give it back to the Citadel, and we'll see Guyton and Higgins take their exit stage right. And a standing ovation from their team. Coach, your keys to the game today.
Well, you want to make more threes, and then you want to make more free throws. And here's the big one, get more offensive rebounds. That's pretty simplistic, but Furman, when these two teams played in Greenville about a month ago, made 14 threes in the first half, and Citadel can really knock down the three, as you see, right on cue with Maynard on the dribble handoff, knockdown 3.
David Maynard barely moved the net as that ball made its way through. 5-3 lead for the home team here to start out. Early first half action in McAllister Fieldhouse. Good denial defense out on the perimeter by Citadel early, trying not to give Furman too many set looks today, but Furman an excellent passing team, as you see right there, and Conley Garrison his first on the day. He's 8th in the league in three-point field goals made coming into play this afternoon. Hayden Brown, and the first miss from deep. Turns into a scrum on the floor and a tie-up. Again, you go 217 meetings. Furman has led this series for a while, 129 wins to 87 defeats. The Paladins have won 7 straight and 8 of the last 12, but this is not quite what you'd call rivalry basketball, but it's scrappy. These two teams know each other well.
They know each other well. Having a chance to talk to both coaches before the game, it's amazing how they would tell you Furman does this or Citadel does that. These two coaches and these coaching staffs know each other very well. What you're going to see a lot of as you watch this game develop is a lot of switching screens. Both teams defensively will switch a lot of screens, so you'll end up getting mismatches in the paint quite a bit.
Maynard, the pass back to Clark, driving baseline, can't get the reverse finish, and Furman with the rebound. Pretty solid look there for Citadel, just couldn't quite get the finish underneath. It's almost amazing to see twos between these teams as Bothwell charges through. Mike Bothwell, a tough matchup. 6'3" senior out of Cleveland Heights, Ohio. He's a guy that can drive to the rim, but still you've got to respect his long-range game as well.
If he gets his feet set and has an open look, he will knock down the three, but I think he's really at his best with physical contact in the paint and finishing through that contact.
Stephen Clark picks up the first foul. Bothwell, an 84% free throw shooter at the line. Furman, as a team, 5th best in the league, 75% at the stripe. Those are the numbers you start to pay attention to at this time of year. Who shoots free throws well? Who finishes games well? That's something that both of these teams will try to tidy up as they head through this regular season finale. Bothwell makes them both his first 2 in the game, and Furman's lead is 3.
And as we mentioned in the keys, make more free throws. Furman known as a very good free throw shooting team. Citadel not so much, so we'll see how that plays out today.
Bothwell, the deflection. Those 2 free throws actually put him over 1,300 career points scored now, so congratulations to Mike Bothwell. One of those guys you feel like he's got a mayoral run in him in Greenville for as long as he's been there. This COVID senior year will mess with you like that, too. I mean, I think you could get an elected official term out of some of these guys. Moff has the ball deflected away. They'll call it a true deflection, but only 8 on the shot clock as he comes back across. He'll step up and airball the three-point shot.
I think he might have get deflected that shot, too, Slauson. That's one thing the Furman staff charts is deflections in a game, and they feel like if they can get somewhere around 30 deflections in a game, they're really disrupting. Doesn't always lead to a steal, but those deflections disrupt offense quite a bit.
Slauson out of Somerville, bit of a homecoming game for him today. More on that later. Nice drive and kick. It's Bothwell open for the 3, and he connects.
You saw Citadel switching a lot of screens. Next time they're on defense, you'll see that again. Bothwell, just as we mentioned, got his feet set, and he can knock it down.
Nearly a travel turns into a steal, and here comes Furman on the attack again. Slauson thought about the rhythm look. Garrison that drive and kick yet again, and Bothwell yet again, the recipient. That offensive rebound turns into a three-point make for the Paladins. Alex Hunter connects for the second time today.
Furman really hunts threes after offensive rebounds. That's why that was a key as well. You see the tap-out offensive rebound directly to Hunter, and he's looking for that 3 after the offensive rebound knocks it down.
Furman got out to a similar hot start in Greenville when these two teams played, but Hayden Brown wasn't on the floor. Today he's on the floor, and it's still Furman sprinting out to start this one as we head to the media timeout. 15-19 to go here in the first half. It's Furman 14-5 over the Citadel on the Ingalls SoCon Game of the Week from Charleston. Southern Conference Game of the Week. David Jackson, Matt Matheny with you here at McAllister Fieldhouse. It's a gorgeous day in the Low Country. Perfect atmosphere for what is the regular season finale for the Citadel and Furman. And the Ingalls Southern Conference Championship coming up next week, starting Friday for the men, Thursday for the women. Ticket available, or ticket information is available at SoConSports.com. We'll talk plenty about the tournament as we go on throughout the day today. Paladins on the attack, another hot start. It's exactly how this worked out when these two teams played in Greenville. Again, like I said before the break, Hayden Brown was out. He actually injured his quad against Chattanooga in the game prior to matching up with the Citadel. That's the only game he missed all year long, and Furman took advantage. They jumped out to a hot start, never looked back. Expected a little different result this time. Great shot fake by Foster as the shot clock wound down. Hayden Brown, the run-out rebound.
One of the first clean stops by the Citadel, and they can now get out in transition.
Another great shot fake. Moff, the pull-up, just a bit short. And Furman with the rebounding edge so far. Hunter on the drive. Nice pin right at the backboard there by Stephen Clark, but Furman there with the finish.
Clark,
always good to chase rebounds.
Clark, a very good shot blocker, leads the conference in shot blocks. When your man leaves to block a shot, it's a great time to get an offensive rebound. There you see Furman taking advantage.
Active hands for the Paladins thus far. That foul on Marcus Foster. Both teams really trying to deny the wing here today. As we talked about, these two teams average about 33-point field goal attempts per game. So expect to see that three-point arc guarded a little bit today. Don't know if it'll matter. They make about as many as they take, it seems like some nights, but Citadel not only fourth in the league, or rather in the nation, in three-point attempts, but they're also second in the nation in three-point field goals made per game, just under 13 threes per contest.
Citadel's seventh in the country in three-point field goals made per game, so two of the best in the country at making threes.
Hayden Brown trying to clean up his old mess, lost the handle on the offensive rebound, and Furman gets the stop.
Furman very active defensively. Talking to Coach Ritchie for Furman before the game, he feels like defensively their numbers aren't as good as they've been in the past, but when they're active and they're really causing problems with deflections and active defensively, that's when they're at their best.
Joe Anderson running the point here for Furman. Over in the bottom corner of your screen, Bob Ritchie trying to work the minutes a little bit. Both of these teams have been marred by nagging injuries down the stretch, trying to get their rotations right before the tournament. The hook shot there by Heen a bit short, and Citadel with another rebound.
Heen started some early in the year. He's really starting to get a little bit more comfortable in the offense. He's shooting a lot of threes lately. There you saw him miss a close one in the paint.
6-4 Furman's early advantage on the boards. You see Brown, the offensive board, his stick back, and the foul. Hayden Brown, there's the scrappiness. That's why he's got the black eye, because he plays hard to the whistle inside. He earns the trip to the stripe after battling and getting the stick back.
If I was the football coach at the Citadel, I would be recruiting Hayden Brown right here off the campus. The black eye is perfect for him. He got it a couple games ago. It was actually friendly fire. One of his teammates came down on his and split his cheekbone up a little bit. To me, DJ, that's very important for the Citadel, that they get offensive rebound and score other than the three. Now, the key is to make more threes than Furman, just like Furman wants to make more threes in the Citadel. But it's the other things that can really make a difference and put you over the top.
Hayden Brown's first 3 points after he finishes off the three-point play. Foster driving. He collects his own miss. They'll call a tie-up on the drive and keep possession with Furman. So that actually takes points away from the Paladins.
Great job by Roach defensively. He's known as a three-point specialist, but he's actually a pretty good defender too. And Foster had his shoulders by, had the advantage with the drive, but Roach reaches out, blocks a shot, creates a jump ball.
Anderson on the trigger, fresh 20 for the Paladins. Back to Anderson in the corner from Slauson. And the high arcing miss goes to Brown on the run. And now a whistle and a hand check up front.
When the ball goes off the rim, if you watch Brown for the Citadel, he has a magnetism about him. He is a magnet towards the ball. The ball's a magnet for him. He follows the ball like Dennis Rodman used to follow the ball as a rebounder. And the numbers bear that out. He's gotten 46 rebounds in the last 3 games. Just incredible statistic.
Alex Williams picked up that foul. Good to see him back on the floor. He's been one of those guys battling injury for Bob Ritchie's club down the stretch of the season. Always like to try to get full strength at this time of year. Moff, the hanger. Brown, another offensive rebound. Another miss underneath. Now it's Spence, and he gets the finish.
If there's an Achilles heel for Furman, it may be in the paint.
And the one-hand runner a little bit long on cue from Conley Garrison. Citadel on the move. Roach.
That's incredible.
And a timeout taken by Bob Ritchie, and all of a sudden here comes back the Citadel Bulldogs. Furman had built the double-digit lead, and now it's the Citadel on a large run to get back in this one. The Ingalls-SoCon Game of the Week, the regular season finale, with Furman leading the Citadel by 3 at 16-13. The Paladins have gone quiet, scoreless for the last 2:07. The Citadel scrappy and hitting tough shots like that one there from Jason Roach.
Incredible shot by Roach. He came off that dribble handoff knowing he was going to shoot it. Didn't take him long to set his feet and knock it down. Just a great, great shot.
105 three-point makes for Roach, by far a Citadel record, and he is about to take the program single-season record as well. He needs 10 of those triples to surpass Mike Frierson. And that statistic, solid day today. Maybe a game or two in Asheville, and he's got the opportunity to do that. 3 on the shot clock for Slauson. The step back off the back iron, and Roach on the run for the Citadel.
Watch Citadel in transition. They run to spots outside of 3. So it's not a conventional secondary break. It's a spot up around 3, and anybody can shoot the 3. Very difficult to guard.
Roach flaring off, but instead it's the dump on the inside, and the strip ball will go off Spence's fingertips, but off a Paladin first.
He actually called a foul on Huey there. Yep. Huey did a great job physically meeting Spence on that roll and just reached in a little bit at the end when he knocked the ball out of bounds to Fallon.
Huey's first foul, 5th on Furman as a team. Approaching the midpoint here of first half play. Citadel could tie it up after trailing by double digits. Tough dump down pass, fronted and stolen away by Huey. Slauson hasn't gotten going just yet. The double team comes, and a whistle and a foul on the floor.
In transition that time, you saw Moff matched up with Slauson in the paint. What you'll see when Furman enters the ball to the paint, you'll see the Citadel, particularly if it's Slauson in the paint, the Citadel double team the post from the ball side, just in front of his face. We'll get another look at that in a minute.
Tyler Moff on the foul. There you see the touch inbounds, and Huey with the points in the paint. His second field goal. Sometimes it's simplistic. Doesn't have to be one of those crazy draw 'em up X's and O's running all over the place. It's just a simple touch and score. Fitzgibbons on the floor for the first time for the Citadel today. Moff cut off on the drive. And now another steal on the cross-court pass. Garrison comes up with it.
Furman very active defensively, and what it's done is allowed them to get out in transition. When they get a steal like they just did, they can get out and run. That's the second time in transition they found Slauson with an advantage matchup in the paint.
Slauson doing a good job chasing his own rebound after his first shot attempt was partially blocked by Roach. Catch and score, and Furman's extended the lead back out to 8 again. Rebound for Spence. Moff the shot fake. Spence underneath and the jam.
Offensive rebound on the miss. Citadel comes up with that offensive rebound. And just like Furman likes to shoot threes on offensive rebounds, Citadel attacked and got a dump-off pass for an easy 2 points.
Maybe Brady Spence is that guy that gets hot late. You always like to take a hot hand with you to the tournament as Alex Hunter steps up and hits his third three-point shot of this first half.
Spence gave him just a little bit too much room, and he knew it. As soon as Hunter released it, you could see the look on Spence's face, like, I know the scouting report, I gave him too much room.
Fitzgibbons from Mott. Moff looking down low for Brown, and a whistle and a hand check foul underneath. Actually, an offensive foul as Hayden Brown got a little bit too much jersey trying to clear out the lane there.
Just a physical post up by Brown. Again, Furman switched some screens, and here you see, well, this is the play before. The offensive rebound by the Citadel. Moff with the drive and the dump, and Spence gets to talk about that dunk for the rest of the day.
I'm sure he'll probably have a couple YouTube angles on that by the time it's all over with. 23-15 Furman. A little bit of back and forth in this one. Furman got out to a big lead. Citadel came charging back. Now Furman's extended again. Hunter cut off on the baseline drive. Slauson from the top. Walked, no call there. Now it's Garrison underneath. Great shot fake and gets the leaner to fall. That's a couple of times now. The shot fake inside has worked out well for the Paladins.
Garrison is a joy to watch as a coach because he's so detailed and so skilled. He drove and with just great use of the shot fake.
Moff on the drive against Slauson. Fitzgibbons on the flare. Little strong, Slauson the rebound.
Look at Slauson leading the break.
Looking for the kick over in the corner. You can tell Slauson commanding it a little bit more now. Kind of a slow start, but he wants it. Finds Hunter on the pass. Long rebound out to Brown on the run. Citadel with numbers there briefly. Roach in rhythm. Yes, sir. Jason Roach. 6 points in the first half.
Brown with a physical contest on that Hunter shot, but the clean defensive rebound by the Citadel gets him out in transition. Open three in transition.
Hunter underneath on the kick to a wide open Slauson. And the rebound lost off the fingertips of Garrett Heen and out of bounds, and that'll send us to another media timeout in Charleston. 25-18 Furman and the Citadel scrapping in the SoCon regular season finale on our Ingles Southern Conference Game of the Week. In the Ingles SoCon Game of the Week presented by Ingles Low Prices. Love the savings. Love the start to this one. 25-18 Furman on top of the Citadel. Paladins trying to get a road win and secure the 2 seed in next week's Ingles Southern Conference Basketball Championships. Again, starting on Friday for the men, Thursday for the women. Check SoConSports.com for ticket information. Don't want to miss this one. Some tight games, I am sure, as always at this time of year. Wasn't exactly how Clark intended it to get down to Hayden Brown, but Brown with the finish inside on the feed.
Clark is a really good passer. He's a very good passing big man. I think he lost that one and went through the defender's
Or
legs.
maybe he intended to roll it. You
Maybe
never
he's
know.
better than we thought.
Garrison tried back to the basket, but Roach cut him off. Now Garrison will pop out for the three-point shot, and he connects from deep. Conley Garrison is on the list of one of those SoCon how about that moments of the year. Earlier this year against East Tennessee State, he scored 23 against the Bucks in Timmons Arena, but did not take a shot in the first half. Didn't score a point, did not take a shot, ended up with 23 in the game.
He dominated that second half. I was able to watch that game, and just watching him here in person for the first time, he's so efficient.
One of the great SoCon heat checks of the year for sure. It's Furman with the stop, and they've gotten a chance to extend now this 8-point lead with about 6.5 to play here in the first half.
Again, Coach Ritchie for Furman has to be very pleased with how active his defense is. Not perfect, not absolutely perfect, but they're active, their hands are everywhere, and there you see creating the turnover.
J.P. Pegues working the point for Furman. Pretty versatile squad. They can have just about anybody bring it up the floor. We've seen Slauson run the break a few times today as Brown strips that one away. The extra pass proves to be costly for Furman on the interior. Brown, like a bull in a china shop, can't get the finish underneath, and Garrison the run-out rebound. But when Hayden Brown crashes down like that, how do you not just want to get out of the way? Now the dunk inside by Garrett Heen, the two-hand flush.
Both offenses very similar in that, as you referenced, anybody can lead the break. Brown led it just a few minutes ago. Conley Garrison, not necessarily known as their point guard, he led the break there. And when these teams get clean stops and get out in transition, they're going to get open looks. And then the X factor is the threes, just like Moff knocks down that three right there.
That's 5 for Moff now, cuts the lead back to 7. Paladins have been in double figures with their advantage a couple of times. Bothwell gets the finish, counted and the foul. How about the leaner there from Mike Bothwell?
That's 2 fouls on Moff, too, with 5 minutes to go left. Here you see a great drive going right by Bothwell. He's very good at playing through contact. Enough contact to draw the foul, and he was able to finish. Great play by Bothwell.
Bothwell had that hot start to the year against Louisville, had 30 points back in one of the signature SoCon wins back in November. Remember that Mike Pegues, the Louisville interim coach, said he's a SoCon player of the year type player, but we can't let him score 30. Bothwell's gone on to prove that he is indeed that kind of elite level SoCon player. First team candidate for sure, averaging just under 16 points per game as we head into this regular season finale, but he certainly let the Louisville Cardinals know what he brought to the table. That was just 3 nights after the Citadel beat Pitt. Remember those 2 wins by the SoCon over the ACC to get the year started. Nice inside feed, and the one-hand stick up by Stephen Clark, his first field goal.
Great pass by Moff. Coach Balcom playing Moff with 2 fouls.
Hunter on the hold. Drive and kick. And that's how these offenses work. Marcus Foster from the corner, his first shot from deep.
Interesting. Citadel switched that ball screen action. Spence found himself against Hunter. Hunter drives into the paint. The defense collapsed, and he very smartly kicks it out. Open shot for Foster.
Furman 6 of 13 from 3 to start this game. The Citadel 4 of 8 from behind the arc. And that kick, Maynard cannot go up and get.
Furman active defensively. Clark, like I said, is a very good passing big man. Because of Furman's activity defensively, just sped him up just enough, and he threw that pass out of bounds.
You know, you might see the best collection of passing big men in the league on the floor today because of the nature of these offenses. They're so three-point dominated that those big men often get interior touches that turn into outside looks.
Great
offensive
rebound.
High offensive assist totals. Marcus Foster with the pickup of the miss. He's got 5 and a timeout called with 3:59 to go until halftime, and it will stretch to immediate timeout, so we'll take it as well. 38-25. Furman trying to flex a little muscle before the break here in Charleston on the Ingles SoCon Game of the Week. The Ingles SoCon Basketball Championships just around the corner. Action gets started next Thursday with the beginning of the women's tournament in Asheville. Check out tickets and other details at SoConSports.com. all the way to the title game Monday night, 7 o'clock, ESPN. Maybe one of these teams will be in that final game. There is nothing like SoCon Championship Monday. The buzz around the city of Asheville on those nights is incredible. And we thank Ingalls and all of the other partners for making that event possible. It's like the SoCon prom over several days. It's like the event of the year.
One of the many things the Southern Conference does well is they have their women's and men's tournament together. I think it's a brilliant move by the Southern Conference.
Fitzgibbons on the dribble, trapped near the half-court line. Most aggressive half-court defense we've seen out of Furman here today, coming out of the timeout. Under 10 on the shot clock. Fitzgibbons gets a step. Nearly blew out his rotator cuff trying to get that shot off, and a foul underneath. We'll see the Bulldogs head to the free throw line.
Great job by Fitzgibbons against the double team. Furman really put him in a tough situation. He stayed calm, stayed under control, made a simple pass out of a trap. That's such a great basketball play right there. Then he did drive, and he got himself in a little bit of trouble in the paint and got it up on the glass. Slauson went to block the shot. And as we mentioned before, when your man leaves to block a shot, it's a great time to get an offensive rebound. And there you see Spence on the line because Slauson was guarding Spence. Slauson went to block the shot. Spence gets the offensive rebound.
You know, Duger Baucom's bench is not a very deep one at this point in time in the season. Brady Spence and Rudy Fitzgibbons III. If you take out the two senior day starts, really the only bench players that have played today. But how about Spence with a first half 6 points? That's better than double his season average. Talk about somebody trying to pop their head up as a contributor at the right time of season. Brady Spence with an excellent first half here thus far.
Little zone by the Citadel.
Furman trying to get that middle penetration. And the eventual kick. Good closeout by the Bulldogs. That errant pass inside with just one left on the shot clock. Blocked away by Spence. Excellent half-court defense by the Bulldogs.
Great change in defense right there after the made free throw. Citadel goes to a 3-2 zone, and Furman was fine. They handled it well. Didn't get a great look, though. And again, Spence, as you called a minute ago, active enough to block Hunter's three-point attempt at the buzzer.
Yeah, it was the deflection that made the difference. That precision timing off by just a moment led to a shot clock heave that was nowhere close. Brown on the reverse. He's got the wide open look from three. A little bit strong. The offensive stick back is off the mark. That was a behind the back shot attempt by David Maynard. You saw that right.
A lot of fight in this Citadel team. Great offensive rebound by Maynard. Take your time, Maynard, right there, and get balanced. And, you know, it's okay, guards, if you get an offensive rebound, to pass it out rather than just shoot a shot where you may not have the opportunity to knock it down.
Bothwell using that physical presence. Gets to Garrison out on the wing. Hayden Brown the rebound. He is a board machine here in this first half. Lost the handle on the drive, deflected off of Slauson, and it will stay with the Citadel. Hayden Brown with 8 first-half rebounds to go along with 5 points thus far.
It's double-double coming, DJ.
Brown needed 18 points to move into the top 10 in scoring. He's halfway there. Added 8 more rebounds to his total, right around 7:15 now for his Citadel career. Roach off the spot, just lips out. Another offensive rebound for the Bulldogs. It's Spence again. And the baby hook this time doesn't fall. That's one of the few things that he hasn't connected on here in this first half.
A little cooling from the three-point line. Oh, my.
Garrison tried with the poster dunk. Turns into numbers the other way for the Bulldogs.
Great block by Spence.
Rhythm three. Maynard can't connect, but a whistle and a foul on the rebound underneath.
The best thing Citadel has done in the first half is attack the offensive glass. That's where they've balanced this a little bit. Both teams have made threes. Both teams have gotten out in transition. For the Citadel, the most effective thing I think they've done is attack the offensive glass.
9 offensive rebounds thus far for the Bulldogs. Hayden Brown back to the free throw line, 61% shooter, 5 first half points, 1 for 1 at the stripe. Makes the first one.
His career is a little bit better free throw percentage than this season at 61%. but he's having just another spectacular season.
Both free throws go for the graduate student out of Greer, South Carolina. Suburban Furman, if you want to call it that. Back to a single-digit lead with about 90 seconds to play.
Furman with another look at Citadel's 3-2 zone.
Slauson with that middle catch. And before he could redirect, he gets fouled from behind.
Spence a little over-anxious, a little over-aggressive right there.
Well, he's feeling it right now. I mean, that foul only the 5th against the Citadel. So Furman with the inbounds.
Citadel goes man-to-man out of the baseline out-of-bounds play.
Alex Hunter, he's been quiet here to start, or rather over the last couple of minutes after a hot start. Got 9 points, but that was all relatively early. Garrison, the extra pass. After the shot fake, Huey couldn't hold on to it. Turnover for the Paladins.
Garrison's such a smart player. He was driving. He got by his defender, but he saw Hayden Brown in the paint. So he's very good at using the shot fake. We saw that earlier in the half, but he threw that one maybe just a little too sharply and went out of bounds.
Just the 3rd turnover for Furman. They have forced 8 the other way. Now, if you watched the Citadel back when Duger Balcom first got here, they were as up and down as you could imagine. I mean, tempo wasn't even a word that could describe it. They are much different now. You still expect to see a little bit of that. When they start out on the break, you think it's old school Citadel and they're run and gun, but then they can pull it into the half court just like this, execute their offense nicely. Fitzgibbons nearly the exclamation point 3 there. And now the deflection off of Fitzgibbons out of bounds. Credit Slauson getting over there and using his body well. And Furman gets it back with a 9-point lead.
It's a war when the ball goes on the glass for rebounds. It's an absolute war. And Brown is very effective. Slauson's getting his hands on a lot of balls. Spence, as you mentioned, has been very active in the paint.
Bothwell found Huey cutting. Now back out to Bothwell on the flare. Excellent pass from Alex Hunter, and Bothwell knocks down the 3. He's into double figures with 11.
That's a big 3 because it makes it a 12-point game now, a double-digit lead. So this is a big 10 seconds for the Citadel.
Bulldogs holding for the last shot here. Double comes on Fitzgibbons. A lot of length on that double. Just before the buzzer, Davis no good on the 3. Fitzgibbons with the steal away, can't get the shot off in time. Boy, excellent effort to get back and try to get to that basketball, but the Citadel will see 2 looks at the basket go for naught as we close down this first half of action. The Furman Paladins shoot 48% in the first half on their way to a 41-29 lead over the Citadel here at McAllister Fieldhouse in Charleston. It's the Ingalls SoCon Game of the Week. Charleston, we are just about set for second half action, 41-29. Furman on top of the Citadel. We'll take a look at some first half stats. The Furman Paladins shooting it at 48%. They were 8 of 19 from 3 as well, about 42% behind the arc. Coach, what did you think about this? Did it play out numbers-wise about the way you thought it would?
It really did. There are 32 three-point field goals attempted. And like you said, Furman made 42% of them. They made 8 threes in the first half. Citadel only made 4 threes in the first half. Citadel did have an advantage in the rebounding statistic. 10 offensive rebounds kind of helped make that run in the middle of the first half. But I think a key has been Furman's ability to be active defensively. And what you have now is you have the Citadel with 6 assists and 8 turnovers. That's a negative assist-to-turnover ratio, which is uncommon for the Citadel, and you have to attribute that to Furman's active defense.
Furman's active defense held the Citadel scoreless the last 144 of the first half. The Bulldogs went 1 of 9 during that stretch, including 1 of 6 from 3. We'll see if they can heat up the nets here and inch a little closer to these Paladins. Furman again playing for a 2 seed. They get that with the win. We'll spare you all the if this then this statements for right now because it would give you a headache, and I'm sure we'll see 12 more three-point shots launched before we could even get to the end of it. Here's one of them right now from Clark. Scrapes the front of the rim, and Slauson the rebound for Furman.
No real foul trouble to speak of for either team, so we'll get to see the main rotation players play most of the second half.
And Moff got to play with 2 fouls for a good bit of time as the Paladins start the scoring off here in this second half.
Just a little too much room by Maynard gave Bothwell a chance to set his feet and get comfortable taking that three-point shot.
14 points in the game for Bothwell. We have a whistle and a foul underneath.
Bothwell looks like a player here from courtside that just has been through the wars. He's so experienced, so under control, such in control of his pace and talking the way he's communicating defensively. Just a confident veteran player.
Yeah, you were talking about Hayden Brown as a football player earlier. Could you imagine him with that football matchup with Bothwell as Brown goes underneath on the reverse, gets his own tipped offensive rebound and scores it with the right hand.
Clark didn't have a great first half, but he came back here and very active, and he kept that ball alive for Brown to get the offensive rebound putback.
Brown already in double figures with rebounds. He's got 9 points in the game now, so his next bucket will give him his 27th career double-double. He's got rebound number 11 now on the carom.
Now watch him lead the break. Wow.
Kick over on the corner. Kind of a line drive three-point shot there by Tyler Moff. Turns into a run-out rebound for Furman. Slauson, nice dump underneath, and the reverse layup finish for Tyrese Huey, who's got 6 points in the game now.
Don't blink. Back the other way. Maynard for three from the corner. I was getting ready to talk about how the post players are leading the break. Slauson for Furman and Brown for the Citadel. That time, Moff brings it up and finds a Maynard in the corner for a transition three.
46-34 our score. Furman clinging to that 12-point lead. Good dribble penetration. That always leads for that kickback. Hunter on the drive. The kiss off the square. Hunter in double figures now with 11.
Hunter very aggressive offensively today, particularly from three in the first half, but just under control. Doesn't seem to say much, just does his job.
Ball for Clark. Count the bucket and the foul. Stephen Clark's second field goal. He'll go to the line. And a chance for the Citadel to creep closer.
Great job by the Citadel running offense there with a ball screen, and Clark slipped/rolled to the basket. And what he did a great job, DJ, right there of is catching the ball and staying set, not traveling, not shuffling his feet. He gathered himself, was able to finish through Hunter's contact.
First missed free throw by either team today. Citadel was 5 of their first 5 until that miss. Furman 3 of 3. Not a lot of attempts at the line thus far.
Another look at Citadel's 3-2 zone.
Slauson looking to direct traffic after the middle catch. 10 left to shoot. Hunter on the drive. Fingertip finish, no. And Brown the rebound.
Great box out by Maynard.
Brown to the rim. There's the double-double. Hayden Brown ending senior night number 2 on the right connection. 27th career double-double. His 11th this year. 8th in SoCon play. Amazing efficiency. Bounce pass inside and bodies collide.
Great attack, Furman, there on the baseline against the zone. The zone is top heavy. It's a 3-2 zone, so most of the defenders around the free throw area, Furman attacked at that time down on the baseline.
Jason Roach picks up the foul, his first. Bothwell on the catch. Set and shoot. A little bit short. He was a little bit deep, too. That might be a step beyond Bothwell's range. Roach, he knows no range. Brown fighting for the rebound and keeps it with the Citadel underneath.
To say Brown has a nose for the rebounds is not doing it justice. Watch when the ball goes on the glass. On either end, Brown is going for the rebound every time.
Hayden Brown's season best rebound total was 19 against Samford. He's at 14 right now. We still have a lot of time left and a 5-second violation on the inbounds there. Great forced defensive stand there by Furman.
Great job by Furman defensively. Just close enough on that first cut that Moff didn't feel comfortable inbounding the ball, and as a result, 5-second count, turnover for the Citadel.
9 Citadel turnovers, part of the issue and a 10-point deficit. Inside touch Slauson against Brown. 2 of the SoCon's best, and Slauson wins the battle this time.
Furman doing a good job of attacking that zone in vulnerable places there in the belly.
Bodies collide again as players go sliding out of bounds. We'll see a foul on the floor.
Clearly, Coach Ritchie talked about attacking that zone at halftime. Furman has gotten the ball in the middle of that zone twice to Slauson. There, Slauson scored in the middle. And then Furman also, the time before, as we mentioned, attacked that zone on the baseline. So effectively attacking that 3-2 zone.
Second foul on Jalen Slauson, stuck on just 4 points. 2 of 6 shooting. Has not hit from behind the arc yet. Poor guy wiping up the floor is going to have to do just about the entire baseline there with the amount of bodies that hit the deck.
We may be here for a while.
Haven't the floor squeegees really evolved over time? Remember that when that used to just be like a mop? Now it's its own deal.
Or find a towel. Now they're ready.
Moff thought about the quick trigger. Clark slides down, and that's called a travel. Lost his footing right in the middle of the paint. That'll send us to our first media timeout of half number 2. Furman led by double digits at the break. They maintain that 50-38 here at McAllister Fieldhouse. On the road, it's the Paladins on top here on the Ingles SoCon Game of the Week. SoCon Basketball Championships just around the corner. Next week, we get it started in Asheville. These two teams creeping a little bit closer to knowing exactly where their bracket spot is. You can see that full bracket after play tomorrow at SoConSports.com. You can buy tickets there now, as a matter of fact, if you just say, hey, I just want basketball. Who cares who plays where? Be a great day. Quarterfinal Saturday will be right here on many of these same Next Star stations. A lot of great basketball action on the way. Out of the timeout, well-timed three-point shot from Alex Hunter as he heats up. He's got 14 points in this contest now, and Furman stretches their lead to 53-38.
Citadel went 2-3 zone that time, changed their zone just a little bit. Furman was affected at the beginning, but took their time. Another turnover by the Citadel.
Marcus Foster picks off the pass, runs the break, heads right into 4 white shirts, and we'll pull it out.
Citadel back man-to-man, switching a lot of those ball screens.
Dump underneath. Heen with the finish. Back to the basket. His second field goal of the contest.
Great finish by Heen. Heen started a lot for Furman early in the year. He actually had 18 points in their win over Louisville. So I think he's a key as they go into the Southern Conference tournament just to help them off the bench.
Moff with a nice dribble stop. And the rebound goes to Marcus Foster. Couldn't quite get the finish, a little bit off balance, but good penetration. Around the perimeter, Hunter with the three-point shot. He is 17 now.
He's feeling it today. There was zero hesitation. Hayden Brown was on him, not close enough clearly. He was on him. Hunter did not hesitate a bit.
Duger Balcom needs the timeout. It's a 20-point lead for the Paladins here on the road, and the McAllister Fieldhouse in Charleston is starting to turn purple. 58-38 Furman on the Ingles SoCon Game of the Week. 41 three-point field goals made in this, or rather attempted in this game. Here's one of them. Big three in the corner that gives Furman a 20-point advantage. Citadel trying to eat into it here. David Jackson, Matt Matheny back with you. Hayden Brown doing what he does best, crashing through the lane for his 13th point to go along with 14 rebounds. Joe Anderson scrapes the ceiling with that three-point shot, his first points of the game, and Furman answers back.
Just enough confusion in transition, even after a make, that Joe Anderson was left wide open, and he can really, really shoot, so too much room for him, knocked down a three.
Anderson shooting a little better than 50% from three in the month of February. Another player that could get hot at the right time for Furman as they chase that 2 seed. Out of the corner, a little flat on the shot there from Roach. Furman with the rebound on the run. Skip out to Anderson. He's feeling it, and he's got it again.
Furman can really, really get hot from three. As Citadel saw up close and personal in Greenville in their first game, they made 14 threes in the first half. They've made 22 threes in a game against North Greenville this year. They've made 21 threes in a conference game against Western Carolina, so they can really, really get hot from three.
Furman denying. Citadel finally getting into their offense with about 9 on the shot clock. And how about Tyler Moff, another hanging floater? That's 2 off-balance makes for him today.
And that's really what he's been doing the last 4 games. He's had 3 of the last 4 where he scored 20 points or more. Hadn't been able to get going credit Furman's defense on Moff, but tough shot, very important make.
Inside looking, Heen using the rim as his protector. He's got 6 now on another interior finish.
A little confusion in the defense on the ball screen right there by the Citadel. Wide open shot. I will say this, Citadel has a history of making great comebacks this year even. Another great play by Moff. They were down 19 on this court against ETSU and came back and won it. And then they were down 15. I believe it was Western Carolina when they came back and won it. 15 against UNCG when they came back and won it in the second half.
They've had 5 games this year that they've overcome double-digit deficits to win games. Duger Bonkum, I'm sure, would probably rather not see that, but it's good to know that your team's got something in the tank. Brown a little bit too much hip that time, hit with the offensive foul as he spins through a defender or 3. And we head to the under 12 media timeout here in Charleston. 66-44, Furman getting efficient. They have hit 7 of their last 8 field goal attempts, and they have stretched their lead to 22 here on the Ingles-SoCon Game of the Week. SoCon Hoops party started here in Charleston on this Saturday. The rest of the league's action later on this afternoon, but we've got Furman trying to flex themselves into the 2 seed here. They lead by 22 about midway through this second half, 66-44. Will Citadel have one of those patented comebacks, or will Bob Ritchie's club get another win on the road in SoCon play? Use that as momentum heading down to Asheville as Garrison sails that pass over the head of Slauson. A turnover for Furman. Those have been pretty few and far between today. Only 6 now for the Paladins on the day.
Furman trying to take advantage of, again, the Citadel switching on some of that screening action. Slauson had the advantage on a smaller defender. He just threw it over his head.
Hayden Brown looking for Maynard on the curl. Brown another double-double. Nearly had himself picked off. Fitzgibbons, the find in the corner. Shallow 3-point shot turns into a scrum rebound for Furman. Hand off to Bothwell. Anderson wants the ball. Look at him, he's got his hands out there on the wing. He wants the ball. He's hit his last 2 shots. Bothwell says, I'm going to take it and I'm going to hit it instead. 17 for Mike Bothwell.
Furman playing incredibly confident right now. And it started with Hunter. I thought Hunter really looked to shoot threes, felt good from behind the arc. But then Joe Anderson made a couple in a row. Bothwell looks really comfortable from behind the arc.
Moff gets cut off at the foul line. Good defense by Bothwell. Brown from 3. It's about the only thing he hasn't done yet today. He's rebounded. He scored it inside. Used his body. There's Anderson again from 3. Off the front of the rim. Ping pong rebound. And the long hit ahead. Moff on the fingertip finish.
Block.
Forget about it. They'll call that a goaltend. Slauson saw that one just starting to come back down as he swatted it away.
I would like to see that about 30 different angles 4 more times because I thought he blocked it. Here, we get a look. Let's see. Oh, that's Bothwell balanced, knocking down the 3 confidently. But what a block by Slauson.
Here's the block.
Here's a good look. Woo!
Awfully close.
Great. Slauson clearly didn't think it was a goaltend. Great cut.
Nice backdoor feed. Anderson on the lay-in. Joe Anderson with 8 here in the second half, doing his best Conley Garrison imitation.
Slauson has not scored. He's got 4 points on the game, but he's really, like we said pregame, has really impacted the game in a lot of ways. There you see him catching the ball in their man-to-man offense and finding a back cut for a layup. He really attacked the 3-2 zone, kind of forced Citadel to get out of the zone the way he attacked it in the belly of the zone. The block that was ruled the goaltending a minute ago, and the way he's led the break offensively, he's been a major impact on this game, only scoring 4 points.
Moff on the drive, cut off. Turns around instead, and his off-balance shot a little bit too shallow.
You can sense this one getting away a little bit from the Citadel. That was a little too sharp, Slauson, with that pass. The Citadel, the last couple of shots have been a little bit rushed, a little bit out of rhythm, a little bit out of the typical offense. I thought Brown's 3 was maybe not the right time, a little too rushed on that 3-point attempt. And then they've made a few mistakes defensively in their switching, so they need to settle down right here if they want to make a run.
Brown, great drive fake. Can't finish the three, but he had Slauson falling back. Furman the rebound. Paladins much better on the glass here in the second half. Slauson thought about the three. Pass back, hand off, two-hand slam. Tyrese Huey finishes it off for his 8th point.
One thing I've noticed that when you watch film of Furman and you watch a lot of their more recent games, they really know who's supposed to shoot when, and they're willing to pass up good shots to get great shots. They're really playing well offensively.
That time Slauson times it right. The shot block keys the break. Paladin's trying to run away with it, and Slauson will slam it down. What a feed, what a finish.
Garrison saw Slauson behind him in transition. Good timeout by Coach Balcom.
8:28 to play in the second half. Timeout taken by Duger Balcom. And we will take it with them. 75-46. Furman looking like a team to contend with in Asheville, the way they're playing here on the Ingles SoCon Game of the Week. Got some high flying here. Watch Slauson on the trail. Give me that. Jalen Slauson, what a day. You know, his dad, Tom, a Hall of Famer here at the Citadel, played for Les Robinson, went into the Hall in 2008. He's a 4th leading scorer. And, you know, he's a Citadel grad, but his son's playing for Furman and playing well. He said that when this happens, he'll wear purple, but immediately go back to blue after the game. I can understand the pull of allegiance, but Jalen Slauson, some high flying, awfully fun for him, I'm sure, to come back to about as close as he can get to his old stomping grounds of Somerville and have a dunk like that. He'll be able to come back here and point that spot out when he returns home after his playing days are over.
Coach Balcom drawing up some great plays in the timeout there. They ran a play to get Roach a three, and very physical contact by Furman to block that cut. The officials saw it and called the foul.
Brown on the catch against Slauson. Two guys you'll see on an All-SoCon list next week, without question. Shot clock down to 6. Fitzgibbons, nice behind-the-back dribble. Brown, the scoop and finish. 15 points, 16 rebounds now.
Great offensive rebound. They switched, and Brown had a guard on him. He tried to post Hunter up, but he got the offensive rebound just as effective.
And how about Hunter waiting there for the pass back for Slauson? Alex Hunter with 20 in the game now. 8th time this year he scored 20 or more.
And that's 6 threes. Just looks really, really confident from behind the arc.
He's kind of heating up. Boy, think about how Hunter has matured as a player, as Citadel will keep possession. But Alex Hunter, you know, a couple of years ago, he had so many great players around him. He was more of a facilitator, but he has really evolved into an elite scorer in this league. And that's player development. That's coaching in a lot of respects, and a player that wants to work hard.
You have to credit the Furman staff. They've done a tremendous job of developing players. They've sort of hung their hat.
How about Fitzgibbons, the heave there? That's coaching as well. They say, wait till the shot clock's about to expire, then heave it up. Furman with a lot of their main line guys out there, still 7 minutes to go. A little bit too much fight in the Citadel to say it's over just yet. Garrison scrapes the rim on the three-point shot. Citadel with the run out. It's a shot like Fitzgibbons make that Keys runs. Maynard on the drive. He'll go to the free throw line.
Furman really zipping the ball offensively. Here's a look at Fitzgibbons. Shot fake at the buzzer.
That was like an excuse me shot, too. It's like, get out of my way. Okay, I'll shoot now.
And if you're Slauson, you don't want to leave your feet that late in the shot clock. You know he's got to try to create room. Just be tall and big, and then when the offensive player leaves his feet, then the defensive player leaves his feet to contest that shot.
Maynard is first of 2 at the line, 87% shooter. If the Citadel's going to make a run next week, they've got to improve at the line. 67% on the season at the stripe. Today, a little better than that, 6 of 7, about 86%. And Maynard makes them both.
If you're Coach Balcom, you want to win the next 2 minutes. I know it sounds a little crazy. This game's gotten out of hand a little bit. But you want to make a run before you start playing different guys on your bench. You want to feel a little bit better. going into next week.
Good catch. Didn't have the right balance, so Hunter wisely will reset. Slauson on the spin. Double team comes. How about that extra pass to Garrison? And Citadel gets the stop, though. Roach. Short once again. He has been short a few times here in the second half. You wonder about fatigue. Citadel has played quite a bit here down the stretch of February, and hard foul on Marcus Foster as he drives through.
This is their Citadel's fourth game in 8 days, and I do think fatigue may be a factor. You don't normally see a Citadel team. Right now they're 26% from three. They take a lot of threes, but they usually shoot it at a much higher percentage, up in the 35+. Now, Furman defensively has been good, so you don't want to take anything away from their activity. I think the story of this game is Furman is so confident right now with the way they're playing offense, and several guys look really comfortable shooting from behind the arc, and they're not really open. Some of Hunter's threes that he made, he did not have a lot of room when he knocked them down. Some of the threes that Joe Anderson was open, but he feet set, knocked down the threes. Bothwell feet set, knocked down the threes. A lot of guys playing confidently for Furman.
Foster makes them both. Give him 7. You know, that calmness, I think a lot of times teams exude the personality of their coaches. As you see, Hayden Brown with another finish. But earlier today, Bob Ritchie, when Furman arrived at McAllister Fieldhouse, Bob Ritchie was the first one on the floor. I always like to see what player is the first one on the floor. Bob Ritchie was the first one on the floor. Picked up a ball off the ball rack and just started shooting. and calm, like he was playing a game of horse. He wasn't going to take anybody one-on-one, but he was going to beat anybody in a game of horse the way he was shooting. And it was just a calm about him. Last game of the regular season, a lot on the line. The head coach said, you know what? Ice water's in my veins. It can be in yours too. And it's in Marcus Foster's there as he hits another 3-point field goal. He's got 10, and the lead has erupted once again. 83-55, Furman in front.
And to your point, his team has played with that same kind of confidence and relaxed nature, but also an aggression.
Very business-like approach. Fine-tuning as Foster hits again. 13 for Marcus Foster. He is 2 off a season high all of a sudden. He's gotten hot here in the second half.
And every one of the Furman players just loading up. Please give me just a little space from 3 because I'm loading up ready to knock that down.
Boy, Hayden Brown just looks worn out right now as he comes back into the half court. Slauson, the no-look feed. Are you kidding me? Bothwell with 19 and a timeout called with 4:38 to go. Taken by Furman. I think Bob Ritchie may have been like, all right, enough said here. We've made our point at 88-55. Sometimes it's the last behind-the-back pass that says, it's okay, we can let off the throttle now. We have come in here and done our job. And if Citadel is going to come back in this one, it would be epic. But I think you can go ahead and count this as road win number 8 for Furman. You start thinking about all of the different ways over the years that Bob Ritchie has built these 20-win campaigns. They've all been a little bit different. You know, they had that one season a couple of years ago where they won everything away from home. They've had wins over Villanova in this run, 2 wins over Illinois Chicago, the win over Louisville. Some of these players like Alex Hunter and Jalen Slauson, some of the experience that has taken those experiences and turned them in to what looks like a well-oiled machine come tournament time.
They really do look like they're ready for Asheville. And as you mentioned, Bob Ritchie is the fastest coach in Furman history to get to 100 wins. He's top 10 in the country in active winning percentage. He's winning over 70% of his games. And we've touched on it just a little bit before. They've really worked to develop players. And you mentioned Alex Hunter. Alex Hunter, this is his 5th season thanks to the extra year awarded, rightly so, by COVID. And he's been here every one of Ritchie's 5 seasons. So just a great marriage between the development of the players. The perfect model of that's Alex Hunter and Coach Bob Ritchie.
Hand check called on Joe Anderson. That will send David Maynard back to the free throw line. Maynard was a guy that was awfully hot coming in, scoring about 14.5 points over his last 2 games. He could get to double figures here if he can make both of these.
Interesting recruiting story about Maynard. the Citadel had a player leave right at the beginning of school, and their coaching staff went into the transfer portal and found Maynard in the transfer portal. He was a 41% three-point shooter from Colgate, but he was working at an office building in Utah when they found him in the transfer portal and were able to convince him to come to Charleston and play for the Citadel.
How about that? Williams blocked by Stephen Clark. Haven't really had an opportunity to talk about Clark's shot blocking prowess much today. SoCon's leader in blocks, 24th in the country. He has had a block in every game this year, 29 now to his tally. This game's been a little bit more three-point centric, as you might imagine. He just hasn't had the chances. Williams, right at the buzzer. The offensive rebound turns into a score for Tyrese Huey, who's into double figures now and 1 point off his season high.
Great rebound put back by Huey.
Fitzgibbon's baseline. And then the three out of the corner by Maynard, a little strong. Furman on the attack. Williams blocked away.
Great block by Clark.
Final 3.5 minutes of the regular season. Ticking down for these two clubs. Furman will be the 2 seed. They will play Friday. Citadel will battle East Tennessee State in opening round play. The Bucks play UNCG tomorrow in Greensboro. That will be the last game of the regular season. And how that game goes will ultimately determine which team wears white jerseys and which team wears dark in that first tournament matchup. We've got a timeout on the floor. 3:09 to go. 90-57. All Furman in the Ingalls SoCon game of the week. In Charleston, 90-57. Furman on top of the Citadel, the Ingalls SoCon game of the week, presented by Ingalls. Low prices, love the savings. David Jackson, Matt Matheny with you on this SoCon finale Saturday. All Furman, they have shot the lights out here in the second half. 57% for the game, but 9 of 15 from 3 in the second half. Anderson misfires there.
Now on this senior day, we get a chance to see if Guyton and Higgins in particular can score in the last few minutes of this game.
Backdoor feed to Brown, cut off. I like Higgins because he's coming with the shiny shoes here. Senior day kicks. Swanson, the three-point shot. You got no Swanson and Slauson matchup, though. They're not on the floor together, so that makes it a little easier for us.
Swanson said, "Don't forget about me. I'm a senior, too."
Put me back in, right? A little bit strong on the shot, perhaps a little adrenaline. Under 2 minutes to go. Long dribble down and stick up for J.P. Pegues. And now we'll have a whistle and a stoppage just to get some subs in.
Great finish by Pegues over a shot blocker in Clark. Look at this
all the way down.
Finish. Clark's a really good shot blocker. He leads the conference in block shots. Great finish.
Hayden Brown getting a nice standing ovation from the crowd here as he comes off the floor. Higgins off the screen. Hence to Guyton. These two guys got the start. Played about 3 minutes early on. Higgins nearly had the shot fake there, but the ball stripped away by Swanson. And Furman with the run out. 14 turnovers for the Citadel today.
Very unlike Citadel. Typically a positive assist to turnover team.
And again, a team that shoots pretty well from 3, 2 of 12 behind the arc in the second half. Under 10 to shoot. Anderson out of the corner. Lost the handle on it. And Moff with the steal away. That's just the 9th Furman turnover. Under a minute to go. And thank all of our colleagues for bringing you these Ingalls SoCon games of the week. Our good friend Steven Dixon has been doing a lot of organizing throughout the year. I know he's gearing up for next week's SoCon tournament. Remember, you can see all of quarterfinal Saturday here on these Nexstar stations. Full tournament on ESPN+, the semis on ESPNU, the final on ESPN, 7 o'clock Monday night. Higgins to the rack! Give it to him! Count the bucket and the foul. A senior day and one.
Great finish by Higgins. Senior day, great move to the right and finish over a big defender. Great finish, and he gets to enjoy it at the foul line.
50th career game for Higgins. He actually started a game earlier this year, played 14 minutes against Mercer. Looking to finish off the three-point play. And his teammates will never let him forget that he missed that free throw. Alumni Day 10 years from now, they'll say, remember that? You missed that free throw. It wasn't a three-point play. Final 30 seconds. Ooh, spin move and the stick up. James Repes.
Great spin move. Higgins went for the steal. Repass, enough balance with a spin move and a finish.
Higgins looking for some help. He wants an assist to go with his three. So we have a whistle and a rebounding foul on Anderson. That's going to send Jackson Gammons to the line. High Point, North Carolina native.
Played his high school basketball at Calvary Day School out of Winston-Salem with his head coach, Joe Ryback.
You know that area.
He's battled injuries since he's been down here at the Citadel.
Final 10 seconds will tick off. Bob Ritchie says, put the stop sign on, and how about the Furman Paladins? They'll get to 20 wins on the regular season, heading to Asheville, and a resounding 94-59 win over the Citadel today here in Charleston. That's 20-11 now for Furman on the season. They finish up SoCon play at 12-6, while the Citadel falls to 12-17 on the year. They will even out their regular season at 6-12 in league action. Matt Matheny, your final thoughts on this one?
Furman was really, really good today. I mean, they lit it up from behind the arc, and as the game progressed, they got better and better offensively. 17 made threes. I mean, it's hard to beat a team when they make 17 threes. But you also have to give Furman credit defensively. I thought they disrupted the Citadel's flow. Was fatigue a factor for the Citadel? Maybe, but I think Furman, irregardless, was just too good today.
Hey, enjoyed calling some games with you. Look to see you down in Asheville next week.
We'll
watch a few and we'll keep talking about it.
Sounds good.
That'll do it for us here for our entire crew at the Citadel. Matt Matheny, I'm David Jackson saying good night from Charleston. 94-59. Furman on top of the Citadel. You've been watching the Ingles SoCon Game of the Week. We'll see you in Asheville, everybody.